phone rang as someone called about tiny kittens left alone in the park. What made this call special was the surprising news that one kitten was somehow living alongside a falcon. The rescuer quickly gathered his supplies and headed straight to the park. Though he had helped many animals before, he felt this rescue might be very different from others. When he arrived at the park, the man spotted small kittens in the grass right away. One sat looking around with big eyes, while another lay quietly on the ground, barely moving. They looked hungry and weak, with their ribs showing through their fur and their eyes slightly crusty. The man moved slowly and carefully toward them. He gently picked up both kittens and placed them in a soft carrier he brought with him. The man kept looking around the park, knowing that kittens often get split up when left alone. His careful search paid off when he found another small kitten hiding inside a flower pot under a park bench. This kitten was even smaller than the others and seemed very scared. It tried to make itself tiny when the man reached in, but it was too weak to run away. With gentle hands, the rescuer added this kitten to the carrier, making sure it had enough space to feel safe. As he walked through more of the park, the man noticed movement under some bushes near the walking path. There was a mother cat sitting protectively next to her kitten. The mama cat looked tired and skinny, clearly having a hard time taking care of herself and her baby. When the rescuer stepped closer, she quickly arched her back and her eyes grew wide with fear. She moved to stand between the man and her kitten, ready to protect her baby even though she was weak. The man knew from years of helping cats that he needed to gain her trust. He quickly but gently picked up her kitten while she was looking away for a moment. Then he took out some soft, creamy treats from his pack. These treats had a strong smell that cats find hard to resist. He put the treats on the ground near the mother cat and backed away to give her space. Her hunger was stronger than her fear, and she quickly ate the food. While she was still calm from eating, the rescuer carefully picked her up as well. Now he had all the kittens and the mother cat safely in carriers. But the most amazing part of this rescue was still waiting. Following the directions from the caller, the man walked to a quieter part of the park. There, just as described, was one of the strangest sights he had ever seen. A small kitten huddled next to a falcon. The wild bird sat close to the kitten, their bodies almost touching. The falcon had its wings slightly spread over the kitten as if it was trying to keep the kitten warm and safe. When the man got closer to this unusual pair, the falcon became very protective. It spread its wings wide and made threatening moves, clearly not wanting to be separated from its small friend. The rescuer tried several different ways to approach, backing away each time the falcon got too upset. This strange friendship between a bird that normally hunts small animals and a kitten left the man very confused. He wondered if the falcon somehow thought the kitten was its baby, or maybe they just found comfort in staying together when they were both alone. After trying many times, the rescuer finally managed to distract the falcon enough to quickly grab the kitten. The falcon screeched loudly and flew in circles around the man, clearly upset about losing its small companion. The man knew that wild birds, especially hunting birds like falcons, need special care from experts. He immediately called the Wildlife Rescue Service on his phone. He explained the strange situation and asked them to come get the bird so it could be properly cared for, and eventually return to the wild where it belongs. With all the cats now safe in carriers, the rescuer turned his attention to their immediate needs. The kittens were very hungry, their small bodies desperately needing food. From his rescue kit, he took out special kitten formula milk, never regular cow's milk which can make kittens sick, and prepared small bottles with soft nipples made for feeding baby kittens. He carefully checked that the milk was warm but not hot before giving it to the tiny kittens. The kittens drank eagerly, showing how hungry they were by how strongly they sucked on the bottles. The mother cat also ate some wet food the rescuer offered her, eating quickly but watching him carefully the whole time. While they ate, the man checked each cat briefly for any obvious injuries or health problems. The rescuer loaded the cats back into his vehicle and headed to his rescue center. His center was specially set up for helping rescued animals, with warm, quiet rooms with comfortable bedding, good airflow, and separate areas for cats with different needs. He set up the mother cat and her kitten in one comfortable space with plenty of soft blankets, clean water, and good food. The orphaned kittens, including the one that had shared space with the falcon, went into a special warming area designed for very young kittens without mothers. The temperature was carefully controlled, the bedding was extra soft, and feeding supplies were placed nearby for the frequent feedings these babies would need day and night. The next few days would be very important for these rescued cats. The orphaned kittens would need care around the clock, feeding every few hours, help with going to the bathroom, watching for health problems, and plenty of gentle handling to help them learn to be comfortable with humans. The mother cat would need good food to get her strength back, and continued vet care to address any health issues that might have gone untreated while she was struggling outside. The rescuer also planned to look for the mother of the orphaned kittens, knowing she might still be in the park, possibly looking for her babies or perhaps hurt and unable to get back to them. Sometimes rescue work means not just helping the animals you find, but also searching for others connected to them. As evening came, the rescue center became quiet for the night. The new arrivals rested comfortably in their spaces, with full bellies and warm bodies perhaps for the first time in days. The rescuer prepared for a night of broken sleep, setting alarms for feeding times. Even though animal rescue work is tiring, there was a good feeling in knowing these small lives had been saved. The story of the kitten and falcon would always be remembered as special. Such unusual animal behaviors remind us that nature still has many mysteries. What brought those two different animals together? How did they overcome their natural instincts to form what looked like a protective relationship? These questions might never be fully answered, but they show us that animals have complex emotional lives and can surprisingly form bonds across species. In the weeks ahead, these rescued cats would receive all needed medical care, proper food, and socialization. When they were ready, they would be put up for adoption, where carefully checked families would give them forever homes. The mother cat might be returned to a managed outdoor cat colony if she proved too wild for home life, though with proper care and patience, even adult wild cats sometimes learn to live happily indoors. For the rescuer, this day showed what animal rescue is truly about: responding quickly to animals in need, providing immediate care, addressing medical issues, and creating paths to better futures. It also highlighted how unpredictable rescue work can be, where each call might bring situations no amount of training could fully prepare someone for, like finding a kitten living alongside a wild falcon. For the kitten who spent time with the falcon, life would now follow a more typical path, growing up with other cats, learning normal cat behaviors, and eventually finding a human family. Would it remember its time with the wild bird? Would that unusual early experience somehow shape its personality? Only time would tell. The Rescue Center documented this unusual case, taking photos and making notes for their records. Such documentation helps build knowledge about animal behavior and can help other rescuers who might find themselves in similar situations. Unusual animal friendships occasionally happen in the wild, but rarely between species that would normally be predator and prey. As night fully settled in, the rescuer checked on all the new arrivals one last time. The mother cat had finally relaxed enough to sleep deeply, her kitten curled against her belly. The orphaned kittens slept in a pile under the gentle warmth of their enclosure's heating pad. Tomorrow would bring more work, more feedings, cleaning, giving medicine, and watching the cats carefully. But for now, everyone rested safely, their immediate needs met, their futures suddenly much brighter than they had been just hours earlier when they struggled alone in the park. This rescue story, especially the part about the kitten and falcon, reminds us that the animal world is full of surprises. It also highlights the important work of those who give their time and resources to helping animals in need. The rescuers, veterinarians, wildlife specialists, and volunteers who step up when animals face hard times. Through their efforts, many lives are saved, suffering is reduced, and sometimes we get glimpses into extraordinary animal behaviors that expand our understanding of the emotional and social abilities of the animals we share our world with. The man often wondered what would have happened if he hadn't received that call about the kittens in the park. Would the mother cat have managed to keep her kitten alive? Would the orphaned kittens have survived without help? And most intriguing of all, how long would the strange partnership between the kitten and falcon have lasted? Nature can be harsh for abandoned domestic animals with dangers from weather, predators, and lack of food. But nature can also create unexpected alliances, like that between a predatory bird and a helpless kitten. Each animal rescue has its own story, its own challenges, and its own rewards. For the rescuer, the satisfaction comes not just from saving lives in the moment, but from knowing these animals will now have a chance at long, healthy lives with proper care. From scared, hungry strays to beloved pets, that transformation makes all the late nights and hard work worthwhile. As the rescuer finally went to bed that night, setting his alarm for the next kitten feeding, he thought about how many people had played a part in today's rescue. The person who called about the kittens instead of just walking by, the vet who made time for an emergency case, the wildlife team who responded quickly to help the falcon. It takes a community of caring people to make animal rescue work, each doing their part to help creatures who cannot ask for help themselves.